I talk now about something which will bring the world forward and which will affect every one of you. As you may know or may not know, every one of you is disabled, or will be at some time, and I want to talk about that. We all have it in our own hands how we get together with this problem or with this opportunity which we have here. As you may know, that is a very famous guy, it's Stephen Hawking, but that's a Lego model, as I probably should say. And he is, as we all know, a very intelligent man. And he said about his disability, people need not to be limited by physical handicaps as long as they are not disabled in spirit. And it's very important to be enabled by spirit and to be to know what you do and really be behind what you do. It's so important. But that man, he sits in his wheelchair, he can't talk, he can't do anything but to use his eyes, to use a speaking computer. And that's what I want to talk about. There are many input mechanisms which disabled people use. So we see a trackball at the top left, which is quite large. We see some kind of joystick in the upper right. The man on the bottom left uses a head mouse, which actually tracks the dot on his forehead, and he activates it with his mouth. So he doesn't need anything beyond that. And on the bottom right, there's a disabled boy who uses a trackball and a large button, which he hits to click. And where are different input mechanisms, there are different output mechanisms. Some people can't use the output mechanism we use on a day-to-day basis, or non-disabled people use on a day-to-day basis. And they are dependent on the following. They are dependent on Braille keyboards. They are dependent on sign language. They really need it to understand content. They need subtitling for videos because they can't hear it. And then there are screen readers which read texts to people who can't see. So we have that huge, that many input mechanisms and many output mechanisms. And what I'm talking about is people like Marco. Marco is a developer at Mozilla, and he does accessibility development, and he has an iPhone, and he uses it, and he's blind. And the iPhone has built-in an accessibility feature, a screen reader, which reads to him everything he says. He could read, and he can really scan over the touchpad and have it read to him. And that's the first device which is touchpad and accessible and mobile like that. And if he wants his privacy, he can just switch headphones on and he's in private mode, which is quite nice. And the best thing, we don't need special things for special people, for people with special requirements, like disabled people. We really can use what we have now, but we have to incorporate it in a special way and in a high quality way. You see here, that's actually thinking about disabled people afterwards. It's just a ramp and it ends 3 steps before the end of the stairs. That's bullshit. Here we have a beautiful stairs, and the ramp is actually incorporated. And it looks very nice, and I think that's much cleaner and nicer looking than any staircase I've ever seen. So we can incorporate accessibility into our normal workflows without sacrificing anything. That's the main train station in Vienna, and they got it isn't built yet, but it has an accessible website, and it doesn't look like it. It's very clear, it's very nice. It has all features that one can need. And it's just, I think it's a very beautiful website, and one who would see it would not say that it's accessible and built for accessibility, and it is. Then there's TED, somehow the predecessor of these talks, I think, and they got subtitling for all their videos, and that's nice for people who are hard in hearing, but they also have interactive transcripts on the right now. And you can click the sentences to jump directly to the video, and you even can copy and paste the text so that you have some quote or something. So it doesn't just benefit people who can't hear properly. It even benefits you and me and everyone who wants to quote something, because we all know how hard it is to quote something from a video. And you go and play back and write it down, and it's hard. So accessibility benefits everyone, and this one is actually that you click open interactive transcript and you got that additional information, and I think that's a nice feature. Accessible websites help everyone. They have me and you, and of course they help us each. Have you ever forgotten your mouse or to load batteries into your mouse? And you can't use your computer, and it begins to stop working when you use it, and you can't click small targets anymore. That's like it is for disabled people. And what you will see, if you have a website who is built accessible, you can use your keyboard, and you have different input mechanisms, and that's quite nice. And it's designing for our future selves. We will be old and we will be disabled. That's a fact. The more people who sit here will be disabled at some point. And we all want to use the internet, I guess. And here we see how the population uses the internet, and we see that 95% or something of the 14 to 19-year-olds use the internet, and they want to use it at 60 plus too. And making great websites is fun. If you see people using your websites and disabled people using your websites, it will make you happy. We enable people to do things beyond their normal abilities by making accessible websites like this, and thank you.